Alright, so welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to review round 14 of the 2024-25 NBL SuperCoach season, as well as preview round 15. It's a super tight turnaround this week and also the next couple of rounds. So we'll do our best to keep up to date. I know I missed the one last week just due to Christmas, so I'll do my best to try and fill you in with how that went. But I guess a bit of a disappointing week in the end with the 427, which I guess was better than round 13, but did see me slide another 158 spots down. So, not going as well as we'd like. But it's always a new round. So in terms of the trades, I'll just go to history just to confirm. But I did bring in Davis for Cotton, although it hasn't listed that way. And Swakalo Bullock was the downgrade option from Menenga. Davis was obviously a great call scorer, 93, and the obvious captain shout. Swakalo Bullock with 24 was pretty handy on the bench. But we had Harrell and Froling on field. 72-46 was quite good. Harrison with 59 was solid. But after that is where it starts to fall away. Cook with just the 26. Henschel with the 13. Zakarski not playing. Turns out he's injured. So we might have to try and replace him this week. Jackson Cartwright suspended for a few games. So one we do have to trade out. And Pepper scoring just a solitary point is not ideal. Particularly given this week there is quite a few teams on the double and Perth is not one of them. So, we'll talk about trades in a minute. We'll go have a look at the league first off. So if we go back to round 14. So Shano's Guns, he's a champion in all sports at the moment. Killed it in the NFL, but he got me in the NBL as well with the 498. So Prather with the 60 was probably the big difference maker. His bench is quite a bit stronger too. Milner, he brought in Brisbane Bullets forward, only scored 2. Walton, so from South East Melbourne, he did quite well, scoring 50 points. Pretty sure that was on a single game too. Peatling, and he had Menenga kept, so worked out well there. And just having a look, I was about to say the highest score in the league, but there is 2 500s. So Woozies is always up there. So Prather, Harrell, Lee with the 17, Olbrich. So yeah, captaining Davis. So I think most people were on that. And the other 500 was the Step Back Stormers, David's team. So he's got Harrison, Cook on the bench, Froling, Kell with 62, Captain Davis. Nice. So just have a quick look at the other big scorers from this week. So Davis was the one. Groves did quite well with 71. Vasiljevic 67. Just lost my train of thought there for a second. So scrolling down, Cal Prather we talked about. Humphreys has gone alright. Harvey Hickey, so the Illawarra guys were good. Cotton, Walton, Adams. So his bat is reaching a bit more form again. So not a lot of sort of cheapies jumping out of the woodwork. Maybe Vice Camp is maybe how you say that with 37. If you have a look at the break-evens, not projections. So maybe Mitch McCarron with a -3. Although I think New Zealand's one of the teams, they might have a double this week. So it'd be interesting if he's one that benefits from Jackson Cartwright's suspension. Could be an interesting option potentially. Yeah, so not a lot of minutes, and then all of a sudden minutes. So maybe he's one to target as a cheapie in terms of the opportunity over the next couple of weeks. Um, yeah, Vice Camp, so -1 break even, so I think he'll be very popular. Mayen's going alright, 33 this round, although I think that was on a double. Yeah, so it looks like his minutes have increased after a bit of a dip there in the middle. So potentially one to look at. So it might not be as bare as what we thought. But I guess the issue for me personally is just not having the trades in the bank. So obviously, we've probably got two sort of forced trades with Jackson Cartwright and Zakarsky. Um, I'd love to trade out Pepper or even a Henschel. But if you've got a boost, we could definitely do something there. But I think we're somewhat limited at the moment. But we will trade out Jackson Cartwright. I'll trade out Zakarsky too, and we can flip around to have a look at the forwards as well. Um, so I guess at the top end of town, we've got the options like Kendrick Davis. If you haven't got him, actually, just before I commit to these trades, just have a quick look at the draw. Yeah, so this week you've got Perth, Melbourne, Adelaide, and Cairns all on the singles. So if you've got the likes of Davis, Harrell, um, Cotton from Perth, trying to think of some guns, Jack White from Melbourne, they may be worth holding because after this week, there's actually like two sort of double game weeks where everyone plays twice in the week. So, it's worthwhile holding on to those higher end assets. Um, but obviously, if you can target the teams on the double this week, so Sydney, Southeast Melbourne, Illawarra, Brisbane, obviously, New Zealand, and Tasmania, then you've just got that extra game over the next 3 weeks. So in saying that, Jackson Cartwright won't feature until 17, so we'll get rid of him. I'm not sure what's going on with Sikorsky, but with the options, obviously Jackson Cartwright's quite expensive, so we probably have a bit of money to potentially upgrade. Um, if we look at these top end options like Hurt, Adams would be good this week. Sobey, Harvey even. Prath has been going all right. One we should have got on earlier. You can see he's made 260k this year. That hurts to look at. um, Actually, I'll just swing Froling in so we can see some of the forwards as well. So Xavier Cooks, obviously, as a forward, is a great option. Jack White. Um, scrolling through. So after that, they all sort of middle out a bit. But I guess the one that is pretty popular on the lists, and I think in terms of trade-ins this week, so I'm going to follow the crowd a bit, is looking at Walton. So Southeast Melbourne do have all those doubles. And it does give us that bit of extra money, so 230k. But in saying that, I'm going to, probably not use all of it and go to V's camp. So the plan will be next week to try and upgrade Henschel potentially, if we can swing that, and then sort of basically try to get it where we've got, starters all across the board with, that bench cover. Not to say that Vice Camp is a starter as such, and we've probably stuck with, one too many guards at the moment, but we'll work through that. So lock in those trades. And then in terms of how we structure the team, so Harrison and Froling is probably the toss up at centre. Um, happy to go with these two in the forward line, given Henschel's on a single, Swaka is on a double, admittedly, and he's got good fixtures against Cairns and Tasmania, but maybe we do swap over actually. Might just do that. And then Davis, Cook, or Walton. Just based on the fact we brought him in, might bring Walton into it. So I think what's Brisbane's got 2 games at home, so leaning towards Harrison. Oh, so does Illawarra. So maybe I guess we've sort of said Illawarra's got a good fixture. Sydney and New Zealand probably aren't the easiest games, so swap them in. All right, but yeah, so that's how we'll leave the team after going into round 15. Kicks off tonight, so I better get this video up shortly. But as always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the NBL content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.